Don't you wanna crash my party? Crash!
Hi guys, we're back. It's been a while.
It has been a while. We've got a lot to cover.
Best of what we've seen in the last 2 weeks.
You don't know part 1 and 2.
I hate Holly J's mom.
She gives gingers a bad name. I don't know how you can have a child and then refuse them a kidney and all that stuff because...
It's kind of awful.
Kind of terrible.
What an awful time to be told that you're adopted. Is like, hey, guess what? You're dying and you need an organ that we can't give you. Oh, guess what? You're adopted. So, yeah. At least Fifi was there to be like, well, maybe this woman can help you.
HJ's mom hasn't been that, like, terrified. She's like, oh, Holly J needs a kidney? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dawn, you kind of suck.
I'll look into it, but I have kids. Give
Right.
me $20,000.
Hey, HJ's sympathetic of it.
No. Give me my kidney. You put me up for adoption. I want an internal organ right now.
Thank God for Fiona, because every time I have to see Holly J sitting in the hospital getting dialysis, I'm like, oh my God.
It hurts. The whole Adam and Katie relationship, which we were totally for. I did enjoy that.
Well, in the beginning of it, Katie was like, oh, like, I'm a big fan of your show, Adam, like, all that stuff, and you're like, oh, I mean, Katie likes Adam.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, I just thought of you as one of the boys, and I was like, oh, Katie, I love you.
And you're totally like, oh, I think Katie likes Adam, and then Katie doesn't like Adam.
Marisol's like, yeah, you got boobs.
And I was like, Audra Torres, I think I might want surgery, and Audra's like, Adam, no. And I'm like, Adam, I don't know.
Exactly,
I mean,
we don't
maybe.
It sucks that the whole Katie thing didn't work out. Just a difficult situation to be in, and you can't really blame either one for how things worked out.
Audra was right when she said, you're 15, your body's still changing.
Absolutely.
And as for Katie, I can't be upset with her, because we said to ourselves, how would we feel if we were in her position?
Marisol always has
didn't
to break
need
news in like a nasty way.
Get to step in, because we didn't need you here for this part.
No.
Katie can speak for herself.
It's about to be a
I don't know.
What? Girl fight.
It's going down. We also had Imogen wanting to be Claire. Like, Claire's realizing, like, oh, Imogen likes Eli. Let me make this happen. Like, Claire ships Emo real hard. Claire is the biggest Imogen shipper that there is.
What you doing, girl?
Claire's like, oh, Eli, Imogen likes you. Imogen likes, not Imogen.
Imogen's literally like, I'll just chop my hair off and like put some curls in. I'm Claire. Oh no, there's too much crazy in one room. Claire's like, oh please, you know, can you let Clara be portrayed in a good light? She's like, okay, sure, yeah, whatever. And she gets the part. The audition scene.
She gets the part. The audition scene. Basically, that was the longest kiss I've ever seen on Degrassi. I think I counted, it might have been like 13 seconds.
And it was the 360.
In the 360, such a long time. Next day, Imogen gets the part, and she's like, Eli, I'm your leading lady on stage and off. And Eli's like, no. Get off me. And I was kind of like,
I was like, oh, they got the 360. Eclair never got anything like that. And then he basically was like, boom. Shot down in front of everyone, and I was like, yes.
Imogen, you're just going down a road, and it's not working for you, girlfriend.
No.
I'm so sorry.
I'm telling you, Imogen just needs to pick up the book. Yeah, he's just not that into you, Imogen.
So, Lose Yourself Parts 1 and 2. First of all, just want to point out, Degrassi is giving us so many plots in one episode now. We're literally getting 3 to 4 plots in each episode.
It's intense.
It's so much.
You're like, oh, that was the this, and this episode, and you're like, wait, but that also happened. Oh my god, we saw Kenna, and we saw this one, we saw that, and it's a lot to handle, and it doesn't really feel rushed.
And they're also incorporating the mains in the backgrounds of scenes now.
Which I enjoy.
So now it's like, oh, mains in the background that you know who go to Degrassi. It's not just like extras taking place. It's really, really good.
I just love the Kenna plot. I don't even necessarily ship Kenna, I just love their story so much.
They're kind of the new Jeopardy, which I kind of hope they're not the new Jeopardy, because if somebody named Samuel ever got killed off the show,
we were talking about it,
we might be really upset. The Kenna plot, since the beginning of season 11, has been incredible for us, and I think it's been one of our strongest favorite plots throughout the season so far.
Absolutely. The acting in this plot has been amazing. It doesn't seem forced. This whole situation, the writing was handled really, really well.
So, Jenna goes back to Degrassi.
She has some leaky leaks.
Wiki leaks. Some very funny little puns in there.
Oh,
Maddie
yeah.
H. Very funny, Maddie H. You go, Maddie H. Some leakage, some finding out about the cheating with KC and Marisol. Not cool.
It was a good Alli thing, though. Again, with that little support, and she's like, you knew?
Yes.
And Dave was like, ooh. And I was like, Dave, you're an idiot.
Exactly. And then Jenna's like, yeah, I think we need to put Tyson up for adoption. Because Tyson's sort of thud thud, thud, thud. Jenna was there, it's like, doo-doo-doo-doo, and all of a sudden it's just like, boom, like thud on the ground, and we were like, what?
Did that just happen? And I'm laughing. I'm like, I shouldn't be laughing. This is terrible. The baby's on the ground. It was bad. She's like, I'm just playing guitar on the boom, and it's just done.
Casey's like, you're a bad mom. And Jenna's like, what the hell is you? Where have you been?
Exactly. Oh, canoodling with someone I like to call Marisol. Oh, what?
Oh, you've been coming home 3 hours late every night.
Exactly.
Oh, Casey, you suck. I'm
and then
sorry,
she's
but
like,
you suck.
oh, Casey, you're a jerk. You've been cheating. And wham with the guitar.
She wants to put the baby up for adoption, and Casey's like, no.
Oh, he was such a sad dad.
Because
really,
he didn't have a father, and he doesn't want his kid to be left out in the cold.
It was very gibberty, and it just made me very emotional about the whole thing, and he just didn't want to give him up so bad. She was like, Casey, it has to happen, and I was just like, no.
But then back in Love Triangle land of the Pastry Wars, Jake is finally working on construction for Love Roulette, and Claire's like, what? He's like, Dear Eli, don't kill Jake.
And Eli's like, squash banana killing Jake.
Jake's like, Claire, it's fine. It's totally fine. And we're like, no, it's not. It really is. Hey, you want to read for Fritz? And we were like, oh.
Oh, no, Fritz.
Eli keeps changing the plots of Love Roulette, and Claire's like, oh, you're squashing my name in Degrassi. And she shows up, and Fiona is like, listen, Claire Edwards, you need to leave this read-through right now.
Basically, Fee was kicking ass and taking names.
And at that point, I was like, Fiona, come on now. But it goes back to the thing where Fiona really doesn't understand why boys are so affected by Claire Edwards.
It really just absolutely is like, Claire who?
Lose Yourself Part 2 was big for us, and I think we all know why.
It's the hero scene, guys. You know what it is.
A very beautiful moment with Eclair. It gave us actually a lot of hope for like 5 seconds, and we were just, yes, and the chemistry was yes, and the music was yes, and the dialogue was yes, and Maddie H knows exactly what we're talking about, and yes.
One side of the table is Broody Boy, and he's staring back at her, and she's just looking at him, and it's like sparks were traveling over the table, and there were rainbows and people dancing, and I just couldn't.
She said, you made Clara the hero, and he said, because she is the hero.
Oh, God,
I know she's the hero.
It just hurt. In a good way. It hurt so good.
Sav and Mo. And that's freaking hilarious.
I love Smo. Smo is the
good.
bromance that I am hardcore shipping right now because they are amazing.
Sav and Mo, Sav and Miss O, Miss O sassy, what's going on? Mr. Brightside Part 1 and 2.
Oh, love these episodes. There was so much.
There was Alli and Dave, there was Funny Bendari.
Oh, the Bendari dad in this episode. Yes.
Dave, you had to be ghetto for the parents. I was kind of like, suck it up and take one for the team. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see the big huge deal about just going in there and being like a little bit more mature than average. Whatever. Mr. Bendari was really chill, and I'm like, good for you, like just being a good guy and like letting Alli date someone who's probably not good for her anyway.
Drew. This plot is so good.
Yes.
Drew is MMA fighting. Mr. Simpson is like, you're not doing this in school. Locking the door.
And he basically blames Katie for all of this happening because Katie's like, well, I wrote an article, sorry.
Guys, I have to say, we love Crew.
We ship it hard.
Like, whoa.
I really like Crew.
They're so good for each other. It's such a good dynamic of like the good girl and like the screwed up boy. Like, it's almost like Eclair in that sense, but totally different.
Totally different at the same time, but it's a similar dynamic that makes it work.
It's an awesome contrast. Chloe Rose as Katie, there isn't a better person
it's just
who could be playing that role. It's
so perfect.
The best. Katie and Drew. Yeah. Katie and Drew doing karate.
Extra, yeah.
We ship Crew real hard. Extraordinary Machine Part 1 and 2, written by Ramona.
We love Ramona so much. She's amazing.
Anya and Owen, they're still on the rocks. Anya's trying to go into the army and she can't pass her drug test.
She got crack.
So, Anya, did you really think you were going to pass the drug test? I don't know. I think you'd look good in camouflage.
Right? It's like the new Sean, kind of, and it's really weird. It's like going in a Sean direction. I hope that her and Owen get things repaired, but right now it's just like, you know, is it worth it? Will there be enough time to make a relationship before the end of the season when she graduates? And it's just, I don't know. Does she know how much goes into stopping drugs that hard?
She's almost halfway there. Almost. She's like, I'll be good. And I'm like, no, you won't. Love triangle scariness in this episode. First of all, Eli, you're totally using Imogen, and I actually felt bad for the girl.
I did too. I was kind of like, Eli, I know you're really crazy right now, but it's like, you're off your meds. People are telling you to go back on your meds. You're not listening to anyone. And you're using the one person that's like, really actually cares a lot about you. As much as I don't like Imogen, she cares a lot about you.
And the more we kept watching it, I'm like, is he actually getting worse? Is he really still getting worse?
Similar mannerisms of Rafiki to actually turning into Rafiki and running around with Simba in his arms. Like, it was bad.
We were thinking like, oh, maybe Claire's gonna give him a chance. And then he's rocking out in his room. He's like, Bullfrog, I'm feeling it. She's feeling it. And I'm like, she's not feeling it. And they go on that date and Jake shows up and it's awkward and it's bad.
And he's a rage face.
He's very scary and there's coffee all over the place and it's bad. It's so bad, guys. At that point I was like, oh,
I was like, there's no hope. We're just done. Just stop.
So
it was really bad.
It's really bad.
1 week, a great episode where there's so much Eclair chemistry, and then the next week it's shattered into pieces, and he's Rafiki, and she's with Jake, and I'm like, how is this happening?
And he's like, Imogen, I'm gonna make out with you for an hour and pretend you're Claire, and then the next day I'm gonna tell you you mean nothing to me. Imogen doesn't show up for the play.
I was like, good for you, Imogen. Don't show up for his jerky little emo boy play.
Loved how Miss Dawes was on the train with it the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And even when he, like, had that psycho ending to the play, she was like...
Which clearly was not the real end to the play, but Miss Dawes is like, that's my Eli, that's my Eli, that's my boy. And we're like, Miss Dawes, are you crazy?
She's
like,
psycho.
she ships herself with Eli so
Dawes-worthy so much. Glad that Bullfrog clarified that that wasn't the real ending of the play, because for a second when they started the applause,
we were like, wait, what? We're like, no, Eli did not do that. That was not written in. Because Fiona looked so scared, like it wasn't supposed to happen.
Fiona's like, that's not the right line, okay. He's like, you can't write your life, and I'm like, yeah, you can. And you need a lot of help. And you're getting help. One of our favorite parts of this episode was Claire in the audience. Aislinn Paul, just your reactions in that scene,
so
just
painful
your
to watch.
face. I was crying and I was full of joy. Just it was brilliant.
It was
just sitting
heartbreaking, but it like you could not take your eyes off of her.
The scene you see at the end with Jake.
I feel like there was like a transition missing there.
I felt like there was more that she needs to say. But I was very glad to see Eli walking away and being able to walk away and get help, and Claire was letting him
For the screen, like just that whole scene of like him and the background and how it looked and the color that they used, it was beautiful. It was a great ending.
Sort of this like beautiful release of like a dove.
We're like the circle of life, like basically. As much as I loved the Eclair plot, our hearts were with Kenna in this episode.
Plot of the episode.
Player of the year goes to Sam Earl. I mean, like I wasn't already
I'm not worthy of watching the episode because I was crying so, like, again,
there was silence in the room.
Another scene where an actor said nothing and I was sobbing my eyes out. It's so incredible to see a young actor take on a plot like that, something that people that age don't typically go through.
Oh, he just gets better and better every time. The story becomes more and more believable, and it was absolutely heartbreaking, and it was so sad. And the music paired with literally silence on his part. We didn't speak during the whole scene. We were literally just watching, like, so intently. Sam Earl,
so brilliant.
This is why I love you.
And I have to say, we were upset that there was no commercial break after the Kenna scene. I wasn't emotionally ready to go into the play.
Right? Like, I needed a commercial break to collect myself.
I was gone. I was a pool of liquid on the floor, and I said, no, I can't see the play right now. I'm not ready. Sam Earl and Jessica Tyler, I can't explain. Your plot is incredible. You've both stepped up your A game so much in season 11.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
I'm so proud.
I know. And bye-bye baby Ty. It was sad.
Maybe we'll see you again because it's an open adoption, right?
It is an open adoption.
Right?
I mean, maybe, I don't know. Kenna, bravo. If this is the last of Kenna, which I don't think it is, there's going to probably be some kind of backstory that's going on, but like, bravo.
Kenna plot.
Yes.
A+++++++. Well, yeah, guys, that was week 4 and 5.
Yeah. We're in the States. We don't want to be here, but you know.
Can I go back to Canada now?
Like right now? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Week 6. Woo! Hard.